The House has elected Devraj Ghimire of CPN-UML as the new Speaker. Ghimire's election was a foregone conclusion, even as Ishwari Nephani of Nepali Congress had also fielded her candidacy. More than the challenges from the opposition, Speaker Ghimire had to resist more intra-party pressure as Prithvi Subba Gurung and Chabilal Bishwakarma were the other UML aspirants for the coveted post. Meanwhile, in the power-sharing deal, UML and CPN Center have agreed to rotate the Speaker's positions by turns for 2.5 years. Good evening, I am Prarambha Dahal. Let's begin with the main stories. Devraj Ghimire of CPN-UML elected as the Speaker of the House of Representatives. The new Speaker faces the challenge of rising above the party interest. Lack of trust building within the alliance, clash of interest between Dahal and Oli. Ruling partners fear coalition could crumble in the lead-up to the presidential election. Due loan of 180 million rupees obstructs construction works at the Gautam Buddha International Cricket Stadium. Government allocated 220 million rupees yet to be released. And global football stars Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo vie against one another after 2 years as Paris Saint-Germain test the might of Riyadh 11 in a highly publicized friendly tonight. Devraj Ghimire of CPN-UML has been elected as the Speaker of the House of Representatives. Ghimire from CPN-UML and Ishwari Nephani of Nepali Congress were the contenders for the post. Ghimire received 167 votes while the opposition bagged 100 votes. One parliamentarian did not cast the vote. As per the provision, at least 138 votes were required to be appointed as the Speaker of the House, which has been secured by Ghimire. The parliamentarians of CPN-UML, CPN Maoist Center, Rashtriya Swatantra Party, Rashtriya Prajatantra Party, Janata Samajwadi Party, Janamat Party and Nagarik Unmukti Party voted in favor of Ghimire. Speaker Ghimire garnered the support of independent parliamentarians as well. Parliamentarians of Nepali Congress, CPN Unified Socialist and Loktantrik Samajwadi Party voted against Speaker Ghimire. As per the constitutional provision, the new Speaker has to be appointed within 15 days after holding the meeting of the House of Representatives. The first meeting of the House of Representatives was held on the 9th of January. Meanwhile, the election for the Deputy Speaker has been slated for this Saturday. The House of Representatives has received a new Speaker. Considered close to CPN-UML chairperson KP Sharma Oli, Devraj Ghimire has been elected the new Speaker of the Parliament. Ghimire will no longer remain a representative of the party. However, the role of previous speakers has always been questioned. Speakers have been alleged of resisting the voices of opposition parliamentarians and operating under the influence and directives of their own political parties. The major challenge of the newly elected Speaker would be to rise above these issues and ensure the efficient performance of the House of Representatives. After being elected the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Devraj Ghimire expressed the commitment of being fair as the leader of the House. Before Ghimire's election, opposition and those supporting him had been raising questions regarding the fair role of the Speaker. However, parliamentarians questioning the role of the Speaker is not a new issue. Suhas Nembang, who chaired the Constituent Assembly and shouldered the responsibility of the House Speaker, to Agni Sapkota, the immediate past Speaker, have all been alleged of failing to deliver their responsibilities. The current House of Representatives includes parties with contrasting past and ideologies, including those playing a major role in the establishment of republicanism, those in favor of Hindu state, and even those with the agenda of monarchy. In the given scenario, the new Speaker is bound to face several complex political challenges. Ghimire has long been a close ally of UML Chair Oli. This has made the opposition suspicious about his biasness in the parliament in the capacity of the Speaker. However, those close to Speaker Ghimire have said that he is suited for the role of the Speaker because of his political career and nature. Lawmakers representing different parties have termed the role of the Speaker significant in ensuring the efficient performance of the House of Representatives. Nepali Congress parliamentarian Biswa Prakash Sharma has said that the Speaker should have a collaborative role in the Parliament. He added that democratic practices were ignored in the previous Parliament. Meanwhile, CPN-UML parliamentarian Yogesh Fatrai has said that the political course before and after the election had changed. He added that despite UML's willingness to remain in the opposition, the party had to join the government because of Nepali Congress. Chief Whip of CPN Maoist Center Hitras Pandey added that the Parliament had to address the issues of public concern. Parliamentarian of Rashtriya Swatantra Party, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Foreign Affairs Ravi Lamichhane has said that the Home Ministry would not violate procedures in its operation. Lamichhane made the remark after Congress parliamentarian Ramhari Khatiwada questioned the presence of UML parliamentarian Lakshmi Mahato Koiri at the House, who is involved in a murder case. Nepal Workers and Peasants Party's Prem Suwal noted that there was no basis to consider Nepali Congress an opposition in the lower house. Also addressing today's parliament session, Rashtriya Jana Morcha chairperson Chitra Bahadur Kesi expressed concern for appointment of ministers who have conflict of interest. Parliamentarians addressing the House session had urged the government to address the issues of public concern and follow due procedures. In our Public Voice segment, today we have asked people in several provinces regarding the role of the Speaker for effective functioning of the House of Representatives. Let us now take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice brought to you by 3 गुना बढी टिक्छ, दाम ठीक छ, हुलास ग्याल्भुलुम, डिश होम फाइबरनेट, एक सही कनेक्सन, NIC एशिया बैंक लिमिटेड, बैंक पनि साथी पनि, राम्रो पनि हाम्रो पनि, जगदम्बा सुपर शाइन तथा जगदम्बा गाल्भा प्लस जस्ता पाता, जीवनभरको भरोसा।
संविधानलाई टेकेर मात्रै कुनै पनि चीजको निर्णय गरिदियोस् भन्ने लाग्छ।
देश र जनताको हक हितमा रहने गरी मात्रै निर्णय र सुझाव गर्नुपर्ने देखिन्छ।
निष्पक्ष रहेर अभिभावकको रूपमा हेर्नुपर्छ। जनताको प्रतिनिधि हो, त्यही भएर उहाँहरू स्वतन्त्र हुनुपर्छ।
एउटा साझा नेतृत्वको पदको रूपमा त्यसलाई ग्रहण गर्नुपर्छ।
निष्पक्ष भएर स्वतन्त्र भूमिका खेल्नुपर्छ।
सबैलाई समान रूपमा व्यवहार गर्ने काम चाहिँ सभामुखले गर्नुपर्छ र संसदको गरिमालाई उच्च राख्नुपर्छ।
सबैलाई सम्हालेर लिएर गएर देशलाई एउटा निकासमा लैजानुपर्छ।
राजनीतिक दलको स्वार्थभन्दा माथि उठेर देशको लागि निर्णय लिनुपर्छ।
Not even a month has passed since the new ruling coalition was formed under the leadership of CPN-UML following the split of the previous coalition. During this period, a 23-member Council of Ministers has been formed under Prime Minister Pushpa Dhal, while the House of Representatives now has a Speaker as well. However, even in this short period, parties of the ruling coalition have grudges against the power share. If this situation persists, challenges remain in sustaining the coalition until the presidential election. While a few parties of the ruling coalition were not content with the expansion of the Council of Ministers, all entities of the alliance came together for the election of the Speaker of the House of Representatives. Based on the unity exhibited today, leaders of the ruling coalition have claimed that the alliance will be sustained the entire term of the government. As Janamat Party, Nagarik Unmukti and Janata Samajwadi were not happy with the expansion of the cabinet, there were doubts regarding their support in today's vote for the Speaker. However, they voted for the coalition candidate Devraj Ghimire with the condition of additional efforts for consensus regarding positions of President, Vice President and Deputy Speaker. Members of the ruling coalition have accepted the rift in the alliance parties. In addition to polarization on positions, policies and programs, leaders of the ruling coalition themselves have begun speculating a possible split of the alliance. Small parties of the alliance, excluded from ministerial portfolios, are now aiming for Vice President and Deputy Speaker. In such a situation, Prime Minister Dhal and UML Chair Oli face the challenge of retaining the confidence of smaller parties of the alliance. Political parties remain divided for a long period of time regarding the election of the Speaker of the House of Representatives. Efforts to reach a consensus on the Speaker was not successful, which led to voting procedure. Now, questions have begun surfacing regarding the life of the ruling coalition until the presidential election, as major parties of the alliance, CPN-UML and CPN-Maoist Center, are divided regarding the president. Speaking after the election of the Speaker, CPN-Maoist Center chairperson and Prime Minister Pushpa Dhal said that maximum effort would be made to reach a consensus for President. Dhal added that the political parties had failed to reach a unanimous consensus on the Speaker. The situation may persist for the Deputy Speaker as well, but maximum efforts would be made to reach a consensus for President. CPN-UML chairperson KP Sharma Oli had a contrasting opinion. He said that a national consensus would be reached only if UML's candidate would be supported. Oli added that Nepali Congress was trying to divide the ruling coalition. Meanwhile, Nepali Congress is in favor of having its member as the president. Considering the polarization among these major parties, the political power play is certain to persist until the presidential election. The Election Commission has made preparations to hold the presidential election 3 to 5 days before the end of the term of the sitting president, which expires on the 13th of March. Based on the legal provision which requires holding presidential election 1 month before the expiry of the term of the sitting president, the Constitution of Nepal has set a 5-year term for the president. Therefore, the Election Commission has made preparations to hold the presidential election to ensure the position does not remain vacant. Members of the House of Representatives and provincial assemblies vote in the presidential election. It is now time for a short break, but for more news, to stay with us. The committee formed to investigate last year's crash of a Tara Air aircraft is yet to furnish its report. A 5-member committee was formed under the leadership of Ratish Chandra Lal Suman, which was supposed to furnish its report within 45 days of the crash. However, despite the lapse of 8 months since the crash, the committee is yet to present its report. The reports of such committees are considered significant in avoiding crashes in future. Coordinator of the committee, Ratish Chandra Lal Suman, has said that the terrain avoidance and warning system of the aircraft was sent to the United States of America for tests, and a report for the same was yet to be received. He has also added that 45-day period was inadequate to investigate air crash events. Meanwhile, only 45 days have been given to the investigation commission formed to probe into Sunday's crash of a Yeti Airlines aircraft in Pokhara. A 9-member team of the manufacturers of ATR aircraft are also investigating the crash to identify its cause. It is now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public poll.
Before we ask today's question, let us take a look at the result from yesterday's poll. Yesterday we had asked, what should be done to curb the impact of climate change? 61% were for A, conserve natural resources, 18% were for B, increase public awareness, and 21% were for C, reduce carbon emission. Here is our today's question. What is your take on the formation of a proof committee after every air disaster, but the inability to furnish a proper report? Your options are A, unaccountable government, B, pressure of airline companies, and C, incompetent proof committee. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. The Gautam Buddha International Cricket Stadium, an ambitious project whose construction works had begun 3 years ago in Bharatpur, Chitwan, is now stranded. Construction of the stadium is now halted because of inadequate funds. A few of the completed infrastructures are already covered in bushes. Works are yet to resume as dilemma persists regarding payment of 180 million rupees in loan taken for the construction of the stadium. Dhurmus Suntali Foundation and the Bharatpur Metropolis had reached the agreement for construction of the international standard Gautam Buddha Cricket Stadium in Bharatpur 15 on the 30th of January 2019. The foundation had collected donations from the public based on the agreement for construction of the stadium. There was great enthusiasm before the beginning of construction works of the stadium, and the works had initially gained momentum. A lot of donors were interested in the stadium and therefore made financial contributions as well. However, the stadium construction site, which once used to witness thick presence of workers, has now gone quiet. Almost 2 years have gone by since the construction works stalled because of financial crisis. The foundation could not continue the construction works, citing a loan of 180 million rupees. The Metropolis has also not been able to continue the project because of the same loan. Before the construction work halted, a 3,000 capacity parapet was completed. Pillars erected for other parapets are now in a dilapidated condition as the iron has begun to rust. The playing field, which once was lush green with natural grass surface, has now turned into an overgrown thick bush, while construction materials have been left unattended. If this situation persists, challenges remain in resuming construction works in days ahead. In addition to ardent followers of cricket, the local residents of Chitwan and the entire nation had great enthusiasm and expectations from the stadium during the early phase of construction works. However, the local residents are now disappointed with the status of what would have been a great sporting venue. The previous government had allocated 220 million rupees for the stadium, but the fund is yet to be released. According to the Thurmusuntali Foundation, the stadium, which is expected to cost 3 billion rupees, has already witnessed the expenditure of just over 546 million rupees. However, only 35% works of the infrastructures of the stadium have been completed so far. We've got more news coming up, but right now it is time for yet another show. Up next is the weather update. That is all for the moment. Thank you for staying with us. Goodbye for now.